This is Bandesh from Chess Gaja. Round 8 of the 44th Chess Olympiad is officially over, and the 8th round packed a few surprises and a few upsets which not all of us expected. Let us take a look at the points table after the 8th round. Here are the team rankings for for the 44th Chess Olympiad for the open category after the 8th round. Armenia leads the charts with 7 wins out of 8 games and 1 draw. India too is right behind Armenia with 7 victories and 1 loss. Out of the 8 games that India too has played, Grandmaster Gukesh had played in all 8 matches and has won all 8 of his games in a dream unbeaten run. Next is Uzbekistan with 6 wins and 2 draws. Then comes Netherlands, Iran, Azerbaijan, and hosts India's first team. India 1 has India 1 has played 8 matches in total, just like everyone else, out of which they have won 5, drew 2, and lost 1. After Turkey comes United States of America, the top seeded team, which is currently ranked 9 on the points table. US was ranked second right until round 7, right after round 7, but in round 8 it suffered a humiliating defeat of 1-3 against India 2. We'll look into that later on in the video. Ranked 10th is Germany, followed by Greece, Kazakhstan, and Brazil, which is playing under the guidance of Chess Gaja founder Grandmaster Priyadharshan. Brazil has played 8 games, out of which it has won 8 matches, out of which it has won 5, drawn 2, and lost just 1. Next is Serbia, and finally 15th on the 15th place is 35th seeded Lithuania with 6 victories and 2 losses. Let us look at the matches played by the top teams in the open category today. The first match was between Armenia and India, in which Armenia proved to be the superior side by a 1 point with 2.5 to 1.5 victory over the hosts. There was 1 victory on the Armenian side and the other 3 games were drawn. On second board was the match between United States of America and India too, in which the young Indian team defeated the top seeded team 3-1. Gukesh and Ronak Sadhwani won their respective matches against Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana and Leonard Perez, whereas Grandmaster Pragananda and Grandmaster Nihal drew their matches against Wesley So and Levon Arangan. This is one of the biggest upsets of the tournament so far, where a very young Indian team defeated the top seeded American team. Next on the next on the roster was Germany versus Uzbekistan, where Uzbekistan backed the match with a 2.5 to 1.5 margin. Moving forward, the Brazilian team played Ukraine and drew the match 2-2 against the 8th seeded Ukraine. On board 1, Grandmaster Luis Paolo Supi drew their match with Anton Korovov. The same result was achieved on board 3 as well, where both the players drew the game. However, on board 2, the Brazilian player Alexander Fier won the game against Ukrainian Grandmaster Yuri Kuzubov. Whereas on board 4, Grandmaster Andre Diamant of Brazil lost to Volodymyr of Ukraine, thus drawing the match 2-2. Let's take a look at the results of the women's category now. After 8 rounds, hosts India still maintained the top spot in the tournament in the points table with 7 victories and 1 draw out of their 8 matches. Georgia ranks second with 7 victories and 1 loss out of their 8 matches. Ukraine is ranked third with 5 victories and 3 draws out of their 8 matches. Next teams after Ukraine are Poland, Bulgaria, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Spain, Romania, Germany, Indonesia, Sweden, and Netherlands on the 15th spot. Today, India played with Ukraine. The top-ranked India played with the second seed Ukraine. Interestingly enough, India is the first seeded team in the women's category, and Ukraine is the second seeded team. In the match was drawn 2-2, with 4 draws, one draw on each board. On board 2 was the match between Georgia and Armenia, in which Georgia beat Armenia 3.5 to 0.5 with 3 victories and 1 draws. On board 3, India 3 played against Poland and suffered a 1-3 loss with 2 losses and 2 draws. Thus, after eight rounds have concluded, the points table is still shuffling a lot, and the struggle to reach the top and grab that medal of either color is on by all the teams. Hosts India look to consolidate their position and eye for the gold in the women's category as well as the men's category with either the India A team or the India B team. America looks in real trouble as it slips to the ninth spot today after a humiliating defeat of 3-1 against India 2. From second spot to ninth spot in just one round, US has a lot to introspect and work on. These are the updates and highlights of round 8. Stay tuned on Chess Gaja for further updates on the 44th Chess Olympiad. Before I conclude this video here, here's a short interview with Chess Gaja founder and Brazil captain GrandMaster Priyadharshan and his thoughts on Brazil's performance today against Ukraine. Thank you for watching. Good evening, sir. Thank you for being with us tonight. With the eighth round over, Brazil just drew their match with Ukraine 2-2. What are your thoughts on today's game?
So yeah, hello everyone, first of all, and hello Bandesh. So as I was saying, it was obviously a very tough match. We were expecting it. They were a much stronger team. I mean, they were the strongest team we faced in this Olympiad. So no, actually, we faced Spain, which was stronger than Ukraine actually. But yeah, Ukraine had all 2,600 plus players on their board, and from a game perspective or like a pre-game perspective, we kind of correctly guessed who they would rest. We kind of guessed that their board two player Andre Olokitin would be rested, and that's what happened. They rested him, and instead they brought their reserve player Onishchuk into the match. The board one was kind of a very theoretical draw, I would say, between Grandmaster Anton Korobov from Ukraine against Grandmaster Paulo Supi. I wouldn't say there was any chances really for either side. It just was kind of following a theoretical variation. The game ended in a draw. 2-3-4 was where actually the real action happened. On board 4, it was a very complex game between Grandmaster Diamant from Brazil, who had the white pieces, against Onishchuk from Ukraine. It was a complex game, Kings Indian, and at some point, I think White had equality, but around move 40 with the ensuing time trouble, Diamond missed a few variations, calculation, I believe, and then Black took over the initiative and Black won in that game. And board 3, we had Mkhitaryan from Brazil playing against Shevchenko, and that was a very topsy-turvy game, I would say, because Shevchenko actually took a solid advantage out of the opening with the white pieces. Like, he actually had an extra pawn right after the opening. But then, Mkhitaryan really fought back. He gave a very nice exchange sacrifice, complicated things in time trouble. And he created a fantastic winning position. Like, even though he was an exchange down, he had a great attack and about to win. But then he missed one or two variations, calculations, and that led to a draw. That should have been Brazil should have won that game, but okay, it ended in a draw. And the main game was actually board 2, which was also the last game to finish. It was between Grandmaster Alexander Fier from Brazil against Yuri Kusubov from Ukraine, and it was a very long game, very great positional game. So if any of you are wanting to look at a positional kind of a rook and pawn end game, definitely a game to check out. Very long game and very instructive, I would say. Like, there was one moment in the game where Black went rook h8, and way later in the game, if anyone's looking up, they can check this later. Rook h8, Black went. Instead, rook h7 is a draw. It's a very computer like study draw. Rook h8 loses, but it makes no human sense why rook h7 would be a draw. Like, if you just look at it. And it was one such game. Pierre played beautiful chess, I would say. So because of that, the score ended 2-2. We would have loved to have 2.5, 1.5, one more upset, but 2-2 is still not a bad result. We are still in contention for everything and ranking wise. So that's was today's day for Brazil. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. Ukraine is the eighth seeded team rating wise, and drawing a game with such a team with the caliber that they hold, it's certainly not a small deal. So congratulations to Team Brazil. What are the pairings like for tomorrow? Whom is Brazil playing tomorrow?
So as of now, it's about 10:30 p.m. now as we record. The pairings are not yet published. Normally they are published by now. So
Right.
we don't know, but for certainty, we know we are playing a top team. There are two probables that we have in mind. It could be either, or we could get someone else also. So far, the guess is either US or India A. We don't know which one of the two. That's our guess based on the standings that we see. But pairings might, once it's officially published, we will figure out whom we are playing. But we for sure know we are playing some very tough teams. So another big challenge awaits us tomorrow. Yeah.
Right, sir, right. India A or US, that's literally the first and the second seeded teams. But all the best, sir. I'm sure Brazil will do tremendously well. All the best for
Thank you.
tomorrow's round, sir. And thank you for being with
Thank
us.
thank you. Yeah. Bye bye.